there guys, and welcome back to Tykes TV. Thank you for joining as ever. So yes, the dust has settled over this past week or so. We've seen Ethan Pinnock be the latest to leave the club. Hopefully as a fan, the last of the players from last season to leave us ahead of the championship season starting. I really do hope so. It was disappointing, it is gutting. But that's football and that's the way things are run, and as fans, you know, we've got to move on and hope that players that do come in are, you know, as good as the ones that we've let go. So yeah, it's disappointing, but there's nothing we can do about that. Lindsay, of course, as well, and Adam Davis, you know, they're not here anymore, and we've just got to accept that. So anyway, guys, reports are coming out, of course, that we are on the brink of signing another defender, central defender from Leeds United, that being Aapo Halme. I believe that's how it's pronounced, who is a Finnish defender, being at Leeds United last season, made just 4 appearances. Now, there are a lot of articles that I read about this that are more so on Leeds regretting selling him, which is a positive bringing in. Always a positive bringing in that another club could regret selling their player to us. But he's a young defender, stood in more last season for Leeds than anything, and Leeds have just made a sign. I think they've signed a player from Brighton. Therefore, this lad's dropped down the pecking order again. So, being linked with us, and it looks as though the deal could be finalised maybe in the next few hours, tomorrow, not sure. But yeah, really looking forward. He's a big lad as well. So looking into that. Now, yesterday we signed Toby Sibic from AFC Wimbledon, who again is another young defender. From what I read, can play centre-back, but also is more naturally a right-back. So in that area, you know, it looks pretty, depending on Cavari, of course, what's going to happen with him. He's another player with only a year left on his contract, so could that be leaving the door open to him? I do hope not. But Halme from Leeds looks as though he could be Pinnock's ultimate replacement in there. And the post that I've seen, you know, the one that I've got loaded up right here is if he does make it in English football, it won't be Leeds, and 21 years of age, on the brink of joining Barnsley on a permanent deal. Quite a lot of Leeds fans who would disagree with this. 4 championship appearances in 18 months would indicate that Halme has flopped in West Yorkshire, but those numbers paint an unflattering and frankly inaccurate picture of the situation. He was specifically signed as an under-23 player by Orta in January 2018, but the towering centre-back picked up an injury early on and never played. However, drafted into Marcel Bielsa's senior squad as a last resort for a short time last season, but he impressed United supporters nonetheless and scored in an FA Cup defeat against QPR. 21 is still very, very a young age, but one with plenty of potential, and you wonder how much better he could have become while working under a coach like Bielsa. So that again is always positive. Obviously, it's nice to look at stats, but also like looking at that, he's only made that many appearances, but he was injured when he did first, sign for Leeds, and Leeds, you know, they can't guarantee him the time that he probably wants. No doubt about it, he'll want to play, and I think coming to us, you know, is always a good thing for players. Especially now, you know, he should fit in there firmly. You know, then that's somebody who can command, you know, the box. I mean, it could be him and Mads Andersen at the back. Maybe if more signings come, but because even before Pinnock left, and I think even before Lindsay went, really, we were looking at bringing in more centre backs. So yeah, we'll wait and see, guys. We'll wait and see. But the dust has settled on the players that have gone. They've gone, and there's nothing we can do about that now as fans, except move on from it. Obviously, yesterday James was definitely riled up about it. I do understand his frustration. But you know, hopefully maybe the dust has settled with James now. I hadn't spoke to him about it much today, but hopefully, you know, he's feeling a bit more. I don't know, positive. It were hard to get a bit of positivity into him, which, you know, he's expecting. You know, Pinnock was his player of the year last season. We can't forget that. So, and I do get where I understand. The problem with me is I understand both sides. I understand the board and the club's decision on it, and I also understand James's decision on it, and other fans who get frustrated about it, because I do, and I'm sure the fans who either are on the board's side still understand, you know, that it is what it is. But my tech, this is what I've been thinking about. In fact, yeah, I will mention it. Before, you might notice a bit of difference, you know, there's a massive shadow on me. Unfortunately, we had an accident yesterday with a studio light. It smashed. So therefore, I'm using the light that we use for the camera, which ain't too good because it's showing a massive shadow. But this is what I thought about earlier. These players, like your Pinnocks and everything like that, and it's something we go on to about when we're bringing new signings in. I say it all the time. Selling the club to the players, the plans, the future, making Barnsley a successful club. Why are players such as Pinnock, such as Lindsay, and maybe even Davis to a certain extent, not buying into that, not thinking there could be good times at Barnsley, maybe even better so than what's happening at Stoke. Stoke's been a Premier League side for a long, long time. Obviously, they were in the Championship last season, but could they have had their day? Barnsley are a team on the up. I want to be a part of that. Why do they not see that? Why do they not see that? If you get where I'm coming from, obviously maybe Pinnock maybe wants to move closer to home. Davis been here a while, so I can understand his idea for a new challenge. But I sort of see it as, with what happened last season, under a fantastic, you know, somebody who was unknown to most Barnsley fans before last season, Daniel Stendhal, who created one of the best ever seasons as a Reds supporter for myself. Why could that not? Why do they feel as though, I think we're not going to get any better? You know, why not? Why not, you know? It does baffle me a little bit, because again, no disrespect to Brentford, but are they going to be challenging? Are they going to try and challenge? You know, are they going to be mid-table? Obviously, our expectations as from neutrals is that we're going to struggle. But who's to say we do? Who's to say we're not mid-table? You know, we could overachieve like we did the other year. You know, I mean, you just why can't things be rosy with us? Do you know what I mean? Why is it after a certain point they've reached? I mean, fair play to Pinnock. He was here for 2 seasons, the relegation season and the promotion season. He's got us back to where we claim to belong, and that's my other thing that I thought about. It's like we're back where we belong, the Championship side. I'm sort of starting to think, are we a Championship side? Because competing with the money wise, are we really? That's my view. That's my view. But I will say this: it makes me so proud of what we do with players compared to other clubs who throw money at it. Let's not forget that. So proud as a Barnsley fan that, you know, we do it a sensible way without slamming money all over the place for players, and that does make me proud. So there we have it then, guys. Hopefully, you know, Aapo Halme is signed in the next few hours, few days maybe, and comes in. You know, I'll be looking forward to seeing him. Big, strong defender, something that we need in this physical league, who can command his box. And ultimately, you know, he has got that little bit of experience in the Championship, and for Mads Andersen would be a big help. Them two, I tell you what, them two at centre half would be a good pairing. Yeah, we will see what happens, guys. So thank you ever so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.